Hi, Eileen Veilleux, the fam here. Welcome to another installment in our mini mental health series. And in today's installment, we are going to learn what delusions of grandeur are. So, before we begin, let me just remind you to please watch the full video because in the video there'll be 3 key words. When I get to the key word, I will say keyword, then what the key word is. And then at the end of the video, in the comment section, write down what the 3 keywords are to be eligible for my free merch giveaway when I reach 2,000 subscribers. So let's get started. What are delusions of grandeur? Well, delusions of grandeur is a delusional disorder, which is a serious mental illness where you can't tell the difference between what's real and what's not. Keyword. Delusions or false beliefs come in several types. Delusions of grandeur are one of the most common ones. It's when you believe that you have more power, wealth, smarts, or other grand traits. That is true. Some people mistakenly call it illusions of grandeur. Some delusions might be about events that possibly could have happened but actually didn't or were exaggerated. Other delusions are clearly bizarre, such as insisting that an alien lives in your fridge. So what are the symptoms of delusion of grandeur then? How can we tell if we may have this or not? Well, even some healthy people can hold some unreasonably high opinions of themselves. But, unlike them, someone with grandiose delusions is unshakenly, keyword, convinced that their delusions are true. For example, you may believe that you are a multimillionaire, found a cure for cancer, or are related to a Hollywood celebrity. Other symptoms may include you may be irritable, angry, or feel low. What are some of the other things you may have? You may have hallucinations. You see, hear, or feel things connected to your delusion that aren't really there. For example, if you believe that you have a special relationship with God, you may hear God's voice. Hallucinations aren't very common with delusional disorders, and they tend not to last long. Other than the delusions, someone with this condition usually seem or act odd. But sometimes the delusions can get serious enough to cause problems in their everyday life. So, what causes these delusions of grandeur? Well, researchers don't really know what causes the delusions. Sometimes delusions of grandeur can be a symptom of another mental illness, including bipolar disorder and schizophrenia. Grandiose delusions rarely happen by themselves. Most often, you are likely to also have delusions of, keyword, persecution. A related condition where you're convinced that others are out to harm, conspire against, or otherwise mistreat you. Several things that may play a role in delusional disorders are mental illnesses in your family, an imbalance of brain chemicals called neurotransmitters, stress, drug abuse, social isolation, or lack of close relationships. So there it tells you a little bit about the symptoms and the cause of delusions of grandeur. And like they said, 99% of them are related to other mental illnesses. But sometimes they can be on their own. Wednesday, we will be going over the diagnosis and treatment of delusions of grandeur. Before I let you go, though, let me just remind you to please see with your heart and not your eyes. Because what your eyes see can be so deceiving, and that's not what counts. The shell of a person isn't what is important. What's the biggest important thing is what's inside their heart, their soul, their personality. You know, seeing with your eyes can be hurtful. It can be deceiving in so many ways. You can't tell what a person's going through just by looking at them. You don't know if they have a mental illness. You don't know what their day entails until you see with your heart, which enables you to see beyond the shell. It's just like looking at a peanut. If you want to know if a peanut's rotten or not, you got to crack that shell to look at that peanut. You can't tell if a book is a good book or not until you open the book and read a little bit about it. You have to get inside. And the only way to do that is by seeing with your heart and not your eyes. So until I see you all again Wednesday, have an awesome week. Remember, I love you. You matter. You are important. You are uniquely made. And don't let anybody tell you different. Bye. Have an awesome day.